Okay, so now the idea is that we want to continue with this collat sequence. So one way to do it would say the output here is 46. I'm going to make the input here 46. I'm going to run it again and get 23.0. Okay, now there are two problems. Okay, there are two problems. The first problem is this is going to be a pain in the butt because now I'm going to have to put 23 here, and every single time I get a number, I'm going to have to delete this and keep having to do this over and over again. The other problem is that when we divide, it changes it to a decimal or a float in Python. Now, that's not a big problem, but I really want to keep everything integers because in my mind, that's just much cleaner if we do it that way. So here's what I'm going to do. The problem here is that when we divide, it automatically, when Python sees division, it automatically kind of makes things into floats or decimals, and now everything is going to be a decimal. So I'm going to use the floor divide because I know the only way we're going to be doing this division here is if n is an even number. So the only way we're ever going to get to this step here is if n is an even number, and in that case, the floor divide and the divide is the same thing. Okay, because remember the floor divide, it says, do the division and then take the floor of that. So for example, if I do 15 divided by 2, you get 7.5. If I do the floor division, it's just going to give me 7. Okay, if I do 14 divided by 2, it's going to give me 7.0, but that's the same if I do the floor division. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do there. I'm going to do the floor division there. And now when I run it, it's just going to get 35. Okay, now it's going to be annoying to have to copy and paste this over and over again. Ideally, and we'll see something even better as we go on in this video and in upcoming classes, ideally I would just be able to run this over and over again. So just run this, shift enter, run it again, shift enter, run it again, and this would update every time. So what I'm going to do then, instead of introducing this new variable, I'm just going to keep this same variable. So I'm going to do the following. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to make a new cell. Whoops. I'm going to insert a new cell. I'm going to do insert cell above. Wait, maybe if I insert cell below. Sorry, this is one of those split cell here. I'm going to say n is equal to 15. That's what we started with. Now in Python, n is equal to 15. So if I run this, I'm going to get 46, and if I run it again, it's going to be 46. But now instead of introducing this new variable, I'm going to say n is equal to this. Okay, so now what I'm doing, we got to pay attention to what's going on here. So I run this cell, and now in the mind of Python, or in the mind of this this instance of Jupyter, there's a variable called n, and it's equal to 15. This says if n is even. That's what this whole statement here says, is if n is even, now the new value of n is going to be n divided by 2. Otherwise, n is going to be equal to 3 times n plus 1. Okay, so now n is equal to 15. After I run this cell, n is going to be equal to 46. So I'm going to run this cell, n is equal to 46. If I come down here, n is equal to 46. Now if I run this again, if I run this cell again, in the instance of Jupyter, n is no longer equal to 15. It's now equal to 46. So when I run it again, I'm going to be in the even case, and n will be equal to 23 when I run this again. Okay, 23, and if I run it again, I can keep going over and over again until I get to the cycle. I just picked n by random. Here we go. And now we see if I 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1. Okay, so now obviously what I want to do, I do not want to keep putting my mouse here, clicking enter, and doing this over and over again, right? If I start in at, let's say, 255, okay, so now in Jupyter's mind, n is equal to 255. I'm going to run this again. Okay, n is 766, and I want to see how long it takes me, or I just want to look at all of the numbers as we go through the sequence here. I don't want to actually have to click the cell and do this over and over again. This is taking a long time. So I will show you in the next video the way that we can use something called a loop that basically will automate this for us. And now, since I've committed to it, I just kind of want to go through it. and see how long it's going to take me. This is exhilarating, I know. Okay, here we go. Okay, and now we get the pattern over and over again. Okay, so that was this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can use loops to automate this process so we're not having to run the cell each time. Okay, there we go. That's all we have for this video.